So, Justin, thank you for letting me hit the record button here. You mentioned that you had seen our show. You did a little research. What'd you think of the show? Does it look all right?
Yeah, it looks all right. I'm not personally used to somebody reaching out in that manner. So it's kind of a first time, inquiry kind of thing.
Yeah, well, the big companies out there spend a lot of money producing TV stuff, commercials, infomercials, those kinds of things. Long format things have kind of become very popular for businesses who want to explain their product because some people want to learn more than they can learn in a 30-second commercial, right?
Right,
So what I figured out by accident really was that I could produce a half an hour that airs on ABC. We just don't air it during prime time because that gets expensive. But I
right.
can I can produce it late night. And I asked them, I said, am I allowed to give the copy to my guests? Are they allowed to put it on their website and their social media? And they said, you're the producer, you decide what you do with it. It just airs on ABC. So it goes to a little bit higher level. You'll get more attention because it airs on ABC versus
Right.
another video that doesn't. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just figured out how to essentially help the small guy keep up with the big guy who will do half-hour specials and do long stuff and do lots of commercials and all that stuff. And I think it's more effective because like some of the big companies, they spend millions. I know personally, I help them set up their business and get them up to where they're at. And they spend a bunch on internet. That's what I do, mostly internet marketing. And then I
Hmm.
saw where they do a lot on television. I just never thought it was going to be affordable for any small
Right.
business to be on TV. And then I found out because so I'm the Cardinal Cowboy. I know it's kind of dark in here. I'll turn on my lights. It gets hot in here when I keep the lights on. I've got enough lights to see my computer screens, but to record the
Right.
show, we record this in this studio that's right here. I built it in my house because I
Oh,
figured out I
okay.
could save even more money. We used to rent the studio. The Car Shield paid for my TV show to be on ABC called the Cowboy and Judge Show. And so when I figured out how to produce a TV show, then I said, well, let's stop renting a TV show that costs, $2,600 just to walk into the studio. So I built a
Right.
studio that you can see here. It kind of rivals the studio we had, except it's in my house. I built a nice house. I made a lot of money when I was younger, so I built a big house. Now I would not buy my house. This house is a $600,000 house now, according to
Uh,
Redfin and Zillow. But I bought it for 350. So, but it works out. I've got a second floor that's essentially not used except for my bedroom, a couple extra bedrooms we use for guests that actually fly in and stay here because they want to be on my show in my other spare bedrooms. But most of the people are from St. Louis area. You're at the lake, is that right?
yes, sir.
Lake of the Ozarks. So yeah, you could come in, or you could do the interview remotely. I just did one yesterday they were in studio and they had people they wanted me to talk to remotely. We haven't done that combo yet, but I figured it out. I'm a techie nerd, so I built all my studios and I built the Microsoft Exchange systems for Anheuser-Busch. So I'm an
Oh, okay.
IT guy. That's why I can make this all happen. I've had many people tell me no one else could do this, Carter, unless they have that charismatic personality like I have
Right.
and happen to be a techie nerd. Usually that's not normal. Techie nerds normally want to sit behind a desk in a room and their keyboard,
And
not
yeah, not be social.
that be social. I'm a weird combination. So anyway, I've had multiple business owners like Carter. No one else is going to ever do this. I don't know. I think it can be done. It might be a matter of I host it, somebody else produces it, or somebody else produces it and somebody else hosts it, and I set it up. We're trying to build this up and make it bigger. But for now, I do all the interviews, I do all the production, I do all the editing myself. My competitors are the big guys, Channel 2, 4, and 5 here in St. Louis, and they do the same thing, except they do have a crew of about 12 people. A buddy of mine worked for ABC. He goes, you're doing the job of about 12 people. I'm like, well, I'm a
Right.
nerd. And so I know how to set up. I've got 5 cameras sitting across me, one up there. That's my 4K. These are all 2K. And they're all automated. They tie into the system. I can press buttons on my little stream deck thing I got here. This keypad lets me switch all my cameras during the show. I need to program that to go through my Zoom call, but not as important on a Zoom call. We used to record Zooms and turn them into show. Now Zoom integrates into our software. That's that recent
Oh,
update.
okay.
We just did an update, and I said, guys, can we do this? Out of nowhere, they're like, yeah, we'd like to be on. I just ran into these guys. They're renting our Airbnb. That's what happened. And they said what they do, and I'm like, well, why don't you be on my show? They're like, yeah, let's do it. And they go, can we bring somebody in from Georgia? I'm like, via remote. I'm like, yeah. So normally it's remote or studio, but not both. Yesterday we did both. We got through it.
Huh.
I'll have to do a little editing on that one because I was hitting the wrong buttons because I had to reprogram a bunch of stuff. Anyway, So people will come into the studio, and historically, for the last 3 years, it's worked out great. So I was an IT guy for Anheuser-Busch, got laid off there when InBev came in. They said, "Hey, you've got a master's degree, you're getting paid a lot of money, you're fired." Right? That's what they took our email team down from 33 people to 3. I talked to my boss
Oh wow.
later. He's like, "Remember, we had the documentation team was part of our team too." So it was 33 people down to 3. InBev cut costs, whatever. I went off to said I'll go into the marketing world because I enjoyed marketing. I did marketing for AB. Email campaigns, 50 million emails would come out of my email servers. They tracked whether it got opened, read, deleted, forwarded, not read, whatever. And then all the other marketing I got involved with the "What's Up." I met the "What's Up" guys. Remember Budweiser?
Oh yeah.
"What's up? What's up?" Got to hang out with those guys. All kinds of stuff we got brought in for marketing purposes. I've always had kind of a marketing mind. I started as Cardinal Cowboy character after I was hit by a drunk driver and was in a coma. And I said, I'm going to go to the Cardinal game anyway. I should have been a pro baseball player. My coach recently told me, yes, I had the skills. He picked me to go to Central. He said, I want you to be my shortstop at Central Methodist University, which is a smaller school. I'm not a big guy, so I'm not a great Division I candidate. But now we're finding out guys like Altuve and David Eckstein. We could have done. He said, Carter, you were as good as or better than the shortstop I had that made it to the AA level and was setting records. Got to go to the big leagues, and then he got hurt. So there's a lot of us.
Wow.
But God had a different plan for me. Drunk driver, coma. I pull a ventilator out of my own throat, and I'm like, what compelled me to do that? And it was my baseball background. So we work with a lot of kids at schools and hospitals. I can go down dozens of hospitals and schools I've visited and talked to kids. And now we recently did a video for kids at boxing. Invited me. I didn't know this was going on, but they've got these boxing school for kids. And I said, I can't just show up to be a guest. So they want me to be there. I'm pretty well known in the community. I said, yeah, I'll show up. Cardinal Cowboy. Okay. And I said, I got to film this. So we filmed it, made a video, got some sponsors, and we put it on my TV show. So that's the stuff I enjoy doing. But to fast forward, so then I went to Dex Media. I did stuff for Car Shield after at first I went to Reach Local, became the #1 guy in the company for them out of 55, because I'm a techie nerd. So I actually know how the marketing works. It's not just how do I sell it.
Right.
I like to set it up. I know how to connect the IP addresses and the IP IMAP or whatever SMTP connectors. I know how to do all that stuff. Now just figuring out how they do it with marketing. It's just the same kind of stuff done different ways. And so I learned how to explain to my customers and became one of the top guys for Dex. I'm sorry, for Dex Yellow Page. That's what was later. First was Reach Local. Then I did the Car Shield stuff. They said, come do this for us personally. I quit the job with Reach Local, went to work for them direct. I had my own little company doing $100,000 a month with them and taught them how to do it. Then they said they could do it themselves. I'm like, that wasn't what we agreed to. But then their lawyer did call me instead of having a lawsuit, which my lawyers did tell me to sue them. I didn't know how the contract law works. So it was a handshake deal. They said, no, that's how it works. It's according to payment, amount, term. This could be a really big lawsuit. I didn't sue them. Their lawyer calls me and say, why aren't you working with the guys? That was a good indication, like maybe my lawyer was right, because apparently they didn't even check with their lawyer to see if they should fire me or not, because he didn't even know why we weren't working together anymore. But he goes, how about, I said, well, I'll tell you about that later. What do you want to talk about? Because I figured it was something good. He says, how about we pay for your TV show? We saw you doing it. ABC had approached me back in 2017 to do a little local TV show on ABC. And I said, well, this would be great for my business. We didn't know what we were doing. We did it for 9 weeks. Didn't know how to systematize. Didn't know how to do the multi-camera thing. We figured that out now. I do it better than the stations do because they've got to have multiple people. They're a union shop. I'm not. Yeah. I can do this. I don't have to. I love union labor, but it costs me a lot more. So I don't. It's all automated. So anyway, they paid for my show. I went to work for Dex Media. I became the #1 guy. Now at Reach Local, I wasn't #1 all the time. To be honest, 1, 2, I was #1 a couple times, but I was in the top 5. But I was showing people, here's how it works. Then I did it for Car Shield, then on my own. Then went to work for Dex Media. My mom's like, because Car Shield canceled the deal with me. They came back and made it good though, because they said we'll pay for your show. I didn't get paid for doing that, but they paid for it for me. That taught me how to do a TV show. So I went to Dex. I'm like, for the 3rd year in a row, #1 sales guy in the company, #1 across the company for all categories. 2nd year, I said, I don't want to do as much with the paper stuff. I get it, Yellow Pages. Can I just do the minimums there? I got people waiting to line up to meet with me because I can show them how to set up the automation. That was their software, as a marketing automation system, texting, emails, credit card processing, online listings, social media, websites, all that is built in one system. The one I do now has the websites included. Theirs didn't. But anyway, and they wouldn't set people up with it. So I would set my clients up. That was aggravating to me. I'm like, guys, it's not that hard to set up. It would work. Your clients aren't setting it up. It's not working. I said, I fixed that for him. Plus I got this TV show. They said, nah, we're good. So I quit. And I'd done a show then. It was paid for 5 years. My lawyers were like, could have sued them. I did the math. I'm like, that show would have been 10,000 a month times 5 years. That's 66. That's 600,000. I think I did better not suing them because I probably wouldn't have got. It might have been nice, but it would have been my profit. My profit wasn't the total my attorney told me to sue for. You go for the big number and see if they settle for less. Didn't do that. They paid for it. They made good for it. They're good guys. They were just trying to do best for them. They didn't even ask their lawyer if they should do this. My lawyer, that's where they could have been. They paid my TV show for 5 years. So then I learned how to do that. And I was offering it to my company. I said, I got some stuff. They knew I was doing it. They said, no. I said, are you kidding me? I left. So then I started my own show. For 1 year, I had 2 shows, Your Little Castle and the Cowboy and Judge show. And then the judge goes, hey, I wanted to always have my show. You taught me how to do this. He was the co-host. Then he became the host. I mean, you're paying for it. Call yourself whatever you want. So I was a host. He was the host. Then I figured out this is really effective. I brought on some guests on the Cowboy and Judge show, and they would pay a little bit to cover some of the costs. And I essentially was profit to me because the show was paid for, but then I was getting paid to do my job as an interviewer and all that. And I found out they got great results from my clients. I'm like, wow, this puts you on TV. You put it on your website after it airs on TV. And then if you really go at it, you take it and you cut it up into clips. You put those on your social media. It's all after it aired, right? Nobody, I mean, a few people, 10,000 people watch it when it airs. We used to get special time slots with those guys. One time I was on after the judge. They put it on Car Shield. They were sponsoring all that. They put it after the Oscars. My sister's ex-husband, we see run into each other, see the kids and all that. He goes, man, I can't get away from you. I see you on after the Oscars now. What's going on? It's 6 o'clock prime time. Now, my show, we don't do that. We don't put it prime time because people aren't looking for people, what you do. Say, hey, let me watch TV and hope I can find somebody, right? That's not how they do it.
Right.
But they'll find you on the internet. And when they see this interview, it makes you look like a rock star. You're going to get more business from it. You're going to convert the people that were interested in you at a much higher. We figured it out about 25% increase in sales only by putting this video on your website. So now we've been doing this for 3 years, and I've made more money than I ever made as the #1 sales guy, but it's a good product. We keep our prices low, especially compared to my competitors. So they're doing 4-minute clips, which are great, except that's not near what you need. You need lots of content these days to keep up with the big guys. But we do a 4-minute clip. We don't even do a 4-minute clip. We do a half hour. And then we've offered it to where you can buy the 4-minute clip for $7.99. But you pick out of the whole half hour what you want versus what they do for $1,700 right now is their current price. Last I heard, because my buddies, oh yeah, channel whatever called me, and it's $1,700 for 4 minutes. I'm like, wow, $1,700 for 4 minutes. And I know the guys. I ran into, I won't say his name, but he's known. And I said, how you doing? He parked, we get kind of a VIP parking area if you've tied him with the Cardinals. So I got this parking spot, and he's walking over there. And I go, what's going? You guys interviewed one of my clients. When they did your 4-minute, you told them to go watch, get more information, and it landed on a page that had our interview, which was a half hour, because that's how you get to learn. And we for $2,500, we do a full half hour versus that's like not even double the cost, but it's 28 minutes, not 4. So it's worth it. Now it helps you because you can't meet with everybody face to face. You can't talk to everybody that might be interested. They see your website, they see your reviews. People want to learn who they're buying from. That's why this does so well for people. And then if you want to take it to the next level, you can put on social media and then do Google ads to it and all kinds of things you can do. But you got to have something that makes people, lets them learn about you before they spend a lot of money. Or even if it's not in a handyman situation. Are you mostly handyman, or what's your primary?
Yeah, mainly handyman stuff.
Yeah, but roofing, little repair jobs. But you get 5 or 6 repair jobs from one client that you wouldn't have gotten otherwise. That's a lot of money. But because they saw your interview, it's like kind of like restaurants. Restaurants have a tough time. They're like, but the guys who know restaurant business know the average. And I've studied this. The average customer isn't worth $35. They're worth $600 because they come back multiple times.
Right.
Versus a roofing company, they want to be on my show. They get one roof sale out of it. They made their money back, $2,500. They make more than that. And they make double that for the average roof, $15,000, 33% profit, $5,000 profit. They're 2 for 1 just by getting one client. And what my guests have been telling me is like, and I got to come back twice. Multiple guys come back to be on the show more than once. They said people watch the video. They just call them. They don't have to go through the whole sales pitch and follow up and call them again and reschedule. They just call them to buy because they saw a half-hour interview about them. And he said, Carter, I made $360,000 off your video. I'm like, Isaac, I should charge you a lot more. He said, well, I would probably pay it, but I said, no, I want to be fair. So it's $25 for the half hour, or you can do segments. Nobody's done that yet, but if I'm going to help the small guys too, we'll do the half hour interview. It will air now. So where we're doing this now. So let me back up a little bit. A half hour on ABC is what you pay for. You got to put money down historically. Recently, I'm a math guy and I try to be logical, right? And I say, we're making 4 introductions and 4 sales pitches, if you will, to say, hey, you want to be on our show? That's fine. You got to put half that money down. We say $1,200 down, and you pay the remainder when the show's over. I won't make you pay the whole thing, but once you sit in here and get your interview and you're on TV and you see the ABC logo and all the cameras and the TV screens up behind me, everybody's paid me. I said, how about this? No charge, no money up front. Now it's a no-brainer. You don't have to pay for anything. I'm going to do it for free. My issue I was running into, now we've upgraded to 3 shows a week. Now I need to have 3 guests a week, or else I'm giving the airtime away to somebody else, right? Even if I pay, I get my airtime for really cheap. You're kind of surprised, but that's why this all works. I got to make a living too. So you're paying me for the production and editing and all the stuff we do. It's all systematized. But so now I'm like, hey, how about we just tell people you can be on for free? And if you want to buy it, you can. We're going to air it because I have to air something. I'm tired of running around. You want to be on? No, yes, no, yes. I've got to do a lot of sales pitches. I don't like doing sales pitches. Come in here, no charge. You don't like it? Don't buy it. I'm going to air it anyway. I was giving it away sometimes to fill up the 3 spots. I got 1 paid for. That paid $3,000 a month because some people would, I'll give you the second one for 500 more. How about we sell 3? Well, my math would be, hey, if I have 4 people that I interview, I don't have to go through a sales pitch. If 2 of them decide they want it, now I'm getting 2 people out of 4 instead of 1 out of 4. And the difference was they got to do it and experience it and sit down and do the interview. And if 2 of them still said no, but 2 of them said yes, because everybody wanted it after they got done when they were paying up front. I'm betting, and so we've already experienced that. People are like, yes, I want a copy of it. I'm glad you didn't make me pay anything up front, because that's something to think about. People understand marketing. People have been on my show. They're like, Carter, you don't realize the value you're giving to people to be on TV for half an hour and all this, and you get clips from it and all that. And I go, I know, but I'm trying to help the small guys make it. My parents ran a small learning center for kids. The reason they didn't make it, because the big guys had way more money than them. The big guys weren't better than them. The big guys actually weren't as good as them, but they got more marketing dollars and they blow people away and build the relationships with the schools. They had a learning center for kids and they had a lot of money. Well, small guys can't do it. So now I'm helping the small guys keep up. We also throw in websites because a lot of people get ripped off on websites, $500 a month for 12 months. Wow, that's a $6,000 website. That website could have been done for $500. And if you need a website, we can do that too. It's built into our system for what we can also help you with later. So anyway, the TV show, then, if you want to come in, no charge. Come in here, sit down, record. If you don't want a copy of it, doesn't matter to me. I still got sponsors now that are paying me to cover my base costs. And if I tack on a couple more people who do want to buy the show and I get 2 in a week instead of 1, I'm making twice as much money. And that's already proven to play out. I haven't had anybody said they don't want it. We just started doing the new offer where you don't have to pay to come in. I've got one guy who hasn't paid yet. Another one we just recorded last night, so I don't expect them. I got to produce it still. And there was a little bit of editing we had to do with that one because multi-things, I will edit if I have to, but I systematize this. There should be no editing. The interview I did today, we made it through with no problems, no editing necessary. The titles, the graphics, the intro, the sound, the putting up the screen, that's all automated. I'm a nerd. That's what I do. And so that's the only one. That's it. That one I would count. But one guy hasn't yet. I think he's going through. The other one, she came in for free, and when we got done, she goes, what if I want to, I got to, oops. People calling my business line. Anyway, what if people want this? Then pay for it afterwards if you want it. It's going to air on ABC as soon as my next unpaid for spot is available. And then, but now I don't have to worry about who's going to be on, and I got to record my brother-in-law's, donut shop because I didn't get somebody to agree, and I just tired of that. So we're just going this route. So no charge to you if you want to come in, or you can do it remotely from the lake. Turned out really good yesterday. I was nervous because I was like, we're throwing a bunch of stuff in here. We're doing in studio and remote at the same time because the microphone's getting switched between the two because it's going out to the internet and going inside studio. It all turned out great. I was very happy with it. I got to edit a little bit, but you can do that too. So that's what we do. And if you'd like, Carter, let me do my interview. Pick your time. I'll send you a link because I don't have time to go through. And I mean, I can, but I'm already stretched. But you go to the link, it just shows you when I'm available. And you pick your time, and then we schedule it. And you just say it's designed to be in studio, so that's the way it's set up. But you could say, Carter, I can't actually come in studio, and I'll change it. We'll go back and change that to say we're actually doing it online. I'll send you the link, and it's a Zoom call if you want to do it that way. But it helps me to fill up my time slots, and then helps me help the small guys. And there's no obligation. And again, back you can buy it for 800 for 4 minutes, but now it's not 4 minutes. My competitors, they've record 4 minutes. That's all there is to choose from. Mine is a half hour, or if we do 2 half hours, pick your 4 minutes. Then I'm at least making $800 plus my sponsors. So even at that level, I would still make, my sponsors will give me a couple, I won't say how much, but it's enough to pay a lot of the bills. And if I throw out a few $800 every week, I'll be okay. So that's how we decided to go with this thing.
Yeah, no, it sounds awesome. Sounds pretty cool. I'd like to set up a time because I've had a lot of marketing fails in the last year and a half, 2 years, and I'm not going back to it. I've done.
Being on TV just takes you to another level, and then you get people's attention. And I just wanted to figure out a way for the small businesses to do that. And once I figured out ABC's airtime is actually pretty inexpensive for late at night, but then you still have to figure out how to produce a TV show, and then they don't let you put your the ABC logo in there unless you've been doing it for a couple of years. That took us a while to earn that. But I'm officially a partner with ABC. I've got a contract with them. So we take a lot of the headache out of it, and then we just say, if you do nothing else, get a website, put this on your website. Even if the website's not that great,
right?
They do want to learn about you before they spend money. And if you don't have anything, then you're just missing the people that they were referred to you. Somebody told them to find you, but do you have a website?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So then put this right on the front of your website, and then we can talk to you. I'll review your website with you at some point and give you some suggestions for free. And then I do offer our system that's built in. I can do it because I'm a partner. It doesn't matter. I pay my monthly affiliate fee. I can give it away for free, or I can charge for it. I got to pay the same amount every month, whether I sell 1 or 50.
Yeah.
So then if a client's been on my show and they've paid to be on my show, I often just give it to them to help them out, and we work something out. But a website is just kind of like one of those things. If the website looks bad, it'll cost you money. But if it looks good, and if you got this video on there, so there we go. Well, then I'll send you the link, or you can tell me right now if you want to look at your calendar. I like to get it booked out, so then I don't have to even to go back and get your time suggestion. I got to still approve it, but we can knock that out right now if you want to look at your calendar, probably next week. And then it's a matter, do you want to come in or do you want to do it remotely?
It'd probably be a remotely kind of thing. And just to be honest, I'm tight and strapped for cash. I took a couple of risks and they're not panning out, but I'm making them pan out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no. Well, the way I work with people, you're working with a little guy too, who's just trying to make it happen. And I've had multiple clients who are like, hey, I want that, but I can't pay full price right now. So we do payment plans. I mean, I've even just because I'm not filthy rich, but I've done enough. I'm not struggling. I just want to help people. I say, hey, man, if we came down to it, let's make an agreement that you're going to pay me later. Or I say, here's a segment, do some good work for yourself and make some money. And if you want to come back and give me, I won't necessarily give a whole half hour away to somebody for free, but anything I can do to help you, because then you might make more money. And then who are you going to go back to help you later? The guy that helped you get through it, right? So, and I'm just, believe it, there are some honest marketing people out there. It just gets confusing with all of the different variations, texting, emails, social media, online listings. You just go down the list, and I just tell you, here's the order you should do things in: Facebook, website, video. Then you can start paying for stuff. And if you got to pay for that video, at least that video, but that video is not a reoccurring monthly charge. It's a one-time thing that you use over and over and over and over again. And that will that'll boost your business 25% by doing that. So let's get you in studio, and then I'm not worried about it. If you don't pay me for the video, that's fine. It'll still be on my social media. It'll be on my YouTube. That way I get something out of it, because you go, hey, go watch my video on YouTube. Well, that's giving me some views.
Yeah.
Because of my YouTube channel. And then it helps me. And then somebody else may say, that was great, but did you get a copy of it? He says, well, actually, if you want a copy of it, you got to pay them. I just didn't have the money at the time to do that if you had a discussion. But then they might come to me and say, well, that's cool. I want the copy. And so they didn't get whatever didn't work out. Like, how many times have I heard that? I know a guy spent $70,000, got nothing out of it. And I know the people he did the work with. And I'm like, that's just tough. I couldn't do that to somebody, man. I just got to sleep at night,
I didn't spend that much, but I think over the course of the year and a half, 2 years, I probably spent $2,500. Because I'm a penny pincher and I try to keep it tight. But and then I built my own website. I did all that stuff, and you know, the Facebook page and all that fun stuff. But you know, as far as videos and whatnot, usually I'm just like in the moment, and I don't take the time to like really document anything in that manner.
Yeah, well, we've
So
got it all scripted. I'll send you the questions so you know exactly what they are. You don't even need to worry about them, but they're there. So I just go down them. I'm looking at them right now because we did an interview. We start off with like, what got you into this? How long you been doing it? What led you here? What about your business fuels your passion? Let's look at your reviews, depending on what they are, a lot or few, whatever. Um, let's do a little cost analysis. You know, like in your case, somebody doesn't get something fixed, now it causes more damage, you know, water damage or whatever. You should get these things fixed. So that's a reason, or do it yourself and make it worse. Kind of cost.
right,
Then go on down the list. There's 21 questions here. So I'll give you those too. And then we have good looking content. You've helped me fill up another segment. And then later on, if you want to buy it from me, you can. My pricing will still be fair no matter what. I'm not going to delete the video, I promise.
yeah,
It'll be in a secure location in the cloud, not publicly available, but it will be on my YouTube channel. And then I kind of debate back and forth. If somebody starts using it a bunch, but they don't pay me for it, then I might be like, hey, you can't share it, you know, or whatever. We'll figure that out later. Haven't run into that issue yet, but
right.
okay. Well, then you want to look at your calendar right now, and then we'll put down a time.
Uh,
Just look at next week if you want. Usually people are out 2 to 3 days, and then they got to open. It's on my calendar. Kind of goes. I get booked out a couple of weeks in advance sometimes, but
right. I don't know. I think, you know, Thursday or Friday will be all right. I'm not sure
so,
what I'll be doing those days, but
yeah, I mean, if you can't stick with it, because I'm blocking time out and stopping what I'm doing. I mean, it could be a 6 o'clock thing. A lot of people interview with me at 6 o'clock at night because they're busy during the day. And so I've done
yeah,
that before. I had an interview one time was 11 o'clock. It was supposed to be 7, but he got stuck on an electrical job. He's an electrician.
yeah, yeah. Those aren't easy sometimes.
Yeah, and I just waited because I'm like, hey, and that was back when I was just like, I gotta have it done. And then he paid me for it because he wanted it, but um, we got it done. So
Right
it's
on.
yourlittlecastle.com/studio so because Justin did allow me to record this. This has been a nice little overview. Um, yourlittlecastle.com/studio. It's a hidden link. I don't want people just booking my studio that I don't know. But for those who are watching this video, because and if you pop up there and you found it somewhere I don't know you, I might be deleting that schedule. But so far that hasn't happened. So I'll put you on. But that allows me because it's built into our automation system. So you're going to get a reminder the day before. You're going to get a reminder 2 hours before, and it'll tell you the address for my house if you're coming to the studio. In your case, it'll be same place we're at right now, meetingabout.com.
Okay.
Which forwards on to our Zoom call. So next week is Labor Day and all that. So yeah, that's good. But towards the end of next week, or do you want to go the following week?
Uh, Towards the end of next week, would probably be better.
Okay.
Usually Thursdays and Fridays, after work, I go and mow yards.
Okay.
So it just depends on the day, really, what's going on, and I can get
Okay.
off of a mower faster than I can get out of a dump truck.
Sound like a man who studied his art there. That's pretty good. All right. Well, on Thursday, what is that date? 29th, my calendar synchronizes with this and for studio purposes. And so the only thing I ever double check is, are the Cardinals back in town? I do go to every Cardinal game as the Cardinal Cowboy. And it says good for
Man, do
business too, but I get to help. I
yeah,
get to
do
work
what
with
you
a lot of
got to
kids.
do.
Yeah. So here's our schedule. And I'm looking at the 29th. No game. Let's see, 26, 27, 28. Yeah, 29th, there's no game. That is a Thursday. Thursdays are good for no games. Now, in the evenings, I work with one of my sponsors on stuff we do for there. We do a seminar with them on Thursday evenings, but and we do it on Thursdays because Cardinals usually off on Thursdays. But yeah, so Thursday pretty much any time. I start at 10 o'clock in the morning because I usually work till 3 in the morning.
I know how you feel. That's my everyday.
Well, we'd rather work for ourselves twice as much than work for somebody else at all, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
All right. So if I got in here 10, 10 30, 11, it doesn't look like, oh no, there's time. I can tell there's time blocked out. I'm not looking at my calendar. I'm looking at where this thing just gives times available. So between 12 and 4, I've got something on my calendar. I could look and tell you what it is. But otherwise, at 4:35, our last appointment would be 5:30. It looks like on that day.
Okay. Let's aim for 5:30. And then whenever I get some money scraped up together, because I definitely want to buy into it. I just don't have it at the moment.
No worries, man. I'm with you. And like I said, I'm just. Some people say I'm stupid, not a good business guy. I've just learned the more people I help, the better my life is. I've worked with over 200 charities now, and it comes back around. I didn't do it on purpose because I just want to give back after going through a coma and share with people. Here's what's possible if you never give up. The doctors said I was going to be a vegetable and never be able to take care of myself. Proved them wrong. So I'm just, it works out that way. I wish we would teach this more in school. Hey, yeah, there's people who take advantage of you, but work with the right people. It comes back to you. So I think you're one of the right people. So I'm going to put you in here. I got Justin and last name
Sitting Bull Wilbur.
That's a cool name. So do you have an Indian background, I guess? Is that right?
Yes, sir.
All right, that's cool. Sitting Bull. I thought maybe that was the name of your business, but that's literally your name.
No.
Is it?
No, Done Right Handyman at the Lake is my
but your actual name is Sitting Bull.
Yes, sir.
That's awesome. Cool. Maybe we'll talk about that. That's a good historical thing. Gives a little bit of your background. Wilbur, okay. All right, and now I'm going to stop the recording because I can't use the recording if I even talk about somebody's email address. I've Googled, I had a thing on the screen. It's, oh, you got an email address on there. It really is an email address. And your phone number, I won't even, my phone number, if it's public, technically that could be used, but I'll just hit the stop recording and we got you set. I'll finish the rest of it. I'm just going to click stop on the recording. But we'll have the rest of it and we'll book in.
I'm good. I'm just in a meeting.
See you there at 5:30 on Thursday, the 29th.
I'm sorry. I'll finish it.